Manic Monday, everybody. How are we doing? Moving the chains. It's your host, Sammy McIntyre, rocking the Raider gear. We're getting close to football season. I cannot wait. Today we talk about the Trey Hendrickson deal. What the hell's going on with that with the Cincinnati Bengals? I think a part of it is them being just cheap. I'll dive into that. I also wanted to dive into my NFC South predictions, what I think is going to happen this year. Kind of a weird division to predict, but I'll get into that in a second. But I wanted to start off, Trey Hendrickson, the really good pass rusher who led the league in sacks last year with 17 and a half. It felt like 7 of them came against my Raiders last year. He wants a new contract. And Cincinnati is still kind of beating around the bush. They don't know what they want to do. Do we sign him? Do we not? Oh, my God. And you know what? I have a feeling Joe Burrow deserves to be kind of shitty with this organization. Listen, I get they paid Jamar Chase and they paid T. Higgins and they paid Jamar Chase. I'm all for it. Okay. However, your offensive line's still a shit show. It was a shit show when they went to the Super Bowl, and it's been a shit show now. They did bring a new online coach in. Hopefully that helps because Joe Burrow's been getting pressured so many times. He is Joe Burrow. Yes, he can make it happen. No doubt about it. But at some point or another, you got to help protect your quarterback because I'm feeling like I'm seeing this movie. It's called Matthew Stafford 2.0 with Joe Burrow in Cincinnati. And then Joe Burrow eventually gets to a good organization, a good situation, and then you start realizing, man, damn, we should have done more. So, but the Trey Hendrickson thing is fascinating to me on this level. He is 30 years old, and he's only had 2 great years lately, okay? Which, again, like, I'm not saying he's a shitty player. He's a good player. And I would pay him, but I would not pay him top of the line, top of the market money. To me, that's just my opinion. And I think the Bengals, to me, like, there's something in life, like, you cannot fake cheap. Like, that's a disease. Like, if you're an owner, and I just look at the Bengals, and they have the smallest scouting department. They're kind of mom and pop, and it's just a shame because they've had really good teams my whole life. Going back, I've been watching this game since 2007, so it'll be 18 years I've been watching this game. And it's just a shame because they had Carson Palmer, and then he left, and now they got Joe Burrow, but he's pretty loyal because he's an Ohio guy. And now I don't know what's going to happen with the Bengals. So stay tuned for that. We shall see what happens. So, going over my divisions, I've done the AFC East, AFC North, AFC South, AFC West, NFC East, NFC North. We're down to the final 2 divisions, NFC South. So, last year, I had the Buccaneers, Falcons, Saints, Panthers. Okay, I'm going to kind of go that route this year, but I'm going to flip it a little bit. So, I still got Tampa winning the division. They're really well run. Jason Light, Todd Bowles, solid is a good coach down there. Baker Mayfield got him your contract. Amika Ibuka, Mike Evans. You got Chris Godwin still there. Your offensive line's pretty good. You were a balanced football team last year. 4th in rushing, 4th in passing. Baker Mayfield had 41 touchdowns last year. Kind of had a resurgence. He's a top 10 quarterback in this league. I love you, Baker Mayfield. Moneymaker Mayfield. Balling like I know how he does. Except when he beats my Raiders. But be that as it may. I'm going to pick them to win the division. Their pass rush has been phenomenal with the blitzing Bay defense that I call Tampa Bay because Todd Bowles sends everybody to the quarterback. But I've heard this years ago. Trent Dilfer said it's kind of a feast or famine. You know, when you can send the house and you can get there, your coverage looks really good. But when you can't get the rush, your back end starts getting a little bit in terms of just not being where it needs to be. I do believe Tampa Bay is going to win this division. They've won it 4 years in a row. They've had 90 sacks, which is absurd in the last couple of years. I think 7th in football. And I'll touch on another team that needs to get that number up in their own division, but I'll get to that in a second. I don't want to give it away. So that to me is where Tampa Bay is at right now. They're the clear-cut division winner. I'm going to roll with the Falcons. I think this year, finally having a full year of Michael Penix, my guy, I said it at the time, one of the prettiest throwers I've ever seen live with my own two eyes. I'm actually going down to see him in New Orleans this year, fingers crossed, trying to get all those details leveled out. But to go see him live again. Pretty thrower, bigger Tua. I think Atlanta's done enough on the offensive side of the ball to get this thing right. They got to get Kyle Pitts more involved. We don't know. Drake London, Bijan Robinson, your offensive line is pretty solid. Now it's just getting this defense right. You got to get to the quarterback. I mean, Atlanta's been having this problem since John Abraham's been there, okay? When he retired and he left. They tried fitting guys in. It just hasn't worked the way it should have been. So we shall see what happens with that. And the third team, I'm going to put Carolina in there. I'm really kind of bullish on the Panthers right now. I think the way that Bryce Young played, now the back half of last year, they got pieces on offense. I love Xavier Legette. I love Chuba Hubbard. I like Adam Thielen at this point in his career. Not what he was in Minnesota, but good veteran presence can kind of help the young guys learn the ropes in this league. And then I got Tommy Tremble from Notre Dame. So I like the Panthers' offensive piece. Their offensive line's okay. It's not great. That's still got to get shored up, and I feel like they will. But Bryce having a full year, I think he needed to get benched, in my opinion. A lot of guys, to me, is like when you don't lose a lot, when do you face adversity? And I've said this before, but I felt like Bryce Young, that really helped him this year, getting that up to pub, and getting that all kind of ironed out. Their defense, listen, and I just mentioned this, they have 59 sacks the last couple of years. They need dudes, okay? They tried with Clowney, that was 10 sacks, but Clowney, whatever. They need a dude. And I love Derek Brown, and they got some piece, they got some pieces on defense I like. I like J.C. Horn, I said a couple weeks ago, but he can't stay healthy. I love Derek Brown, but can't stay healthy. This is not your old 2015 Panthers with Kuechly and Davis and Klein at linebacker, and then you got Latule, and you got Kawan Short, and all those guys. They need war daddies back there, okay? They got to get more pressure on the quarterback. They got 59 sacks. I mean, Julius Peppers, last time they could get heat like that was like that. So I do believe Carolina is set up to win this. They could be, I don't know if they're going to make the playoffs this year, but I have a feeling they're going to be like really kind of fringy playoff team. Could upset some people. And last but not least, I got the Saints. I just think the Saints, to me right now, they're going to be the worst team in football. The salary cap situation, what do you do at quarterback? New head coach. I don't really see a lot of momentum with the roster. Sean Payton kind of left it for dead. Do I blame him? No. But we'll see. I mean, I just think the Saints are going to be bad. Sign up for Arch Manning, I guess. Maybe Nussmeier. I mean, he's an hour in your own state. You can go get him. So stay tuned for that. I don't know what the Saints are going to do, but they're going to be pretty bad this year. I would put them and the Browns to be probably, I wouldn't say betting favorites, but probably in that mix for top 10 pick. So that's all I want to touch on tonight. I hope you guys are doing well. Stay tuned. I got one more video tomorrow. And then take a little breather, and then football starts back again. I can't wait. Adios. Godspeed.